It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is brand new stuff. That one is called Love is the Remedy. That's from the brand new release called Life on Death Row. And the guy that is living his life, I guess, on the death road, it is Jorn Lande. Jorn, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, man. Yeah. It's a good record. Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of it. It's it's a great lineup, good band. It's a good synergy. We have a strong unity, and it's not the band that grows on trees. This one, at least not where I come from. It's very classic, and we all want to do something special this time, and I think we would achieve something. Going back to where we came from, sort of,
Sure.
70s-ish, 80s-ish, I don't know. It's just that energy that we've captured with this album that I think is really unique, So
it very much is, and it's for people that are going to compare it to anything in your past. I think they're going to. I mean, yeah, your voice is still the same, but musically it is a very different record for you, which is cool because, you are one of these guys that is very diverse. You're diversified with what you seem to like. So it is a really nice kind of a change up, listening to this record.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, it's I mean, it's not often that I play my own record. Right after it's done, and usually I'm a bit tired of the whole process, and I've listened to the songs over and over, all the details for mixing the record, and but this time it was really exciting. I was waiting for the delivery from the UPS, to drop off the record. Record company sent me this package of albums, stuff, and I've been playing it frequently in the car, because it's just going back to basic, really. Why did we start taking interest in music in the first place?
Sure.
That was that great energy, which was all about the lineup, the right lineup. Mm-hmm. Right people together, and I think we captured something special with this album, and I guess that's why. So I think everyone feels the same, really.
Sure, definitely. Now, Jorn, talk a little bit about the lineup change, because it is it's a complete lineup change, and you basically went and pillaged Village Voodoo Circle and took all their guys. Talk a little bit about what was the process for that? Did you hear something on their last release that you liked, or did you just know them, or how did that work out?
I mean, I've known Matt Sinner, and I've known the guys, Alex, Francesco, and I've known the guys for a long time. I mean, we met at several festivals, drinking beers together or whatever, It's always a time for a beer, So Matt is a great guy. He's been around for a long time. All the guys have been old colleagues of mine that met, in certain or some occasions, and we always talked about doing something together. And now is the right time to do it. I think all of us felt that the world was getting a bit too stereotype, and the music scene was very, I think, sterile, and there's not much soul and groove happening anymore, basically, in rock and metal, and we just thought that we had to do something, get that enjoyable feeling back. That was the reason for becoming a musician in the first place. So and that's why we decided to do this record, and to show that you can do this in 2017. It's still possible to do a classic rock album like it used to be done back in the day, and not just to the world or to people, but also to prove that to ourselves that we can actually do this, and we can make something great that we can be proud of, and yeah.
Sure.
So, and that's what I feel with this record. Also, the lyrics on this album is probably some of the most purest lyrics I've ever written. So it's a very present album, reflecting on what goes on in the world, and where we come from and who we are. So yeah.
Sure. Now, one of the things that I read in your press, and I'll take that for that doesn't really mean anything other than it was in the press. But was that you had somewhat of a difficult time writing this release? You took a lot longer, and you really crafted things a little bit with a little more depth than maybe previous releases. Is that true? And what was it about this that wasn't moving as fast as normal?
No, I mean, if in addition to being busy with I mean, it's been a bit hectic the last like 2-3 years, because I've had a few records coming out, and I had this Dracula album, this concept album coming out like a couple of years ago. I was working on that when we first started, working on the songs for Life on Death Road. So. It's already a few years ago now. So, but then when that Dracula record was done, I had to start work on this heavy rock radio album, which was another Jorn record. So of covers I did, and then I was also going on tour with this German concept called Avantasia, which was. It took like 3 months, and months we were playing festivals, so it was a bit on and off with everything. I also worked with this company in Los Angeles called Riot Games, which is a big, which created this big online game called League of Legends.
Okay.
And I was working with this virtual band called Pentakill. Which I also recorded some songs with, which we worked on the last year. So that's a record or a digital release that's going to be out later this year. So we all, I think, the whole band kept busy with the various projects and other things, and we had to work a bit on and off.
Sure.
This record. So that was time consuming, but the process of writing the songs was different, because usually I would come up with a vocal melody and a lyric, and the band or guitar player would work on the arrangements, and then we would create the guitar riffs and the structure. So basically, it's easier when everything comes from me, because then I can be spoiled in my own world, and just pick any idea I like, and I could extend every verse or sentence to what I want, Then it's more of a challenge for the band to make things work, And but this time around was opposite. I was sent some music, which was Alessandro Del Vecchio sent me some stuff with drum machine. Not finished songs, but pretty good sounding stuff. Alex Bayrott sent me some cool demos, with the riffs and stuff, and so I started listening to that, and I scrapped some of the ideas, and I think they hate me a bit for that, because thinking I was a bit difficult at times, but in the end, we had some really strong tunes.
Sure.
And I sat down working on the lyrics, writing the vocal melodies. And that was challenging, because I'm not used to work like this. So I'm So now it was kind of turned the other way around. Now I had to I had to kind of do something I'm not used to doing. To stay within a certain frame.
Sure.
I had to work with those 4 or 8 bars, and if I extended it, I had to go talk to the guys and say, hey, I feel it's better to do half a verse longer, or shorter, or whatever. So it was a bit challenging to stay within those boundaries and not have the freedom to do everything exactly like I wanted it to. Because I loved the ideas from the beginning, but it was kind of a structure I had to stay within.
Do you feel that by working that way differently, that it brought out a different side of you musically, because you did have to, there, and I'll put it this way, there's a sense of almost a lack of discipline when you can just do whatever you want, where this probably made you become a much more disciplined vocalist, no?
Yeah, I guess it. Yeah, you're right, because I guess you're right, because because it was all kind of carved in stone somehow. The structure from the beginning. Of course, I added a verse, or I extended the chorus, or whatever. So bits and pieces we changed, or we transposed bits and pieces, or section here and there, different key for the last chorus or whatever. But that's minor stuff to the arrangements. But it was a challenge, because if you have a certain musical talent, or if you're that type, or that kind of guy that can actually hear a melody instantly when you hear a piece of music. If you listen to a movie, if you watch a movie and you hear some instrumental piece going on, if you automatically hear a melody in your mind, that it's a great gift, but at the same time it can be a curse.
Sure.
Because when I got that music, it's kind of I heard some melodies which I thought were pretty good, but there was something I've heard before, and I just thought this is too melodic, or this is too whatever, and I liked it, but I thought, this is not the Jorn style, this is more pure, from within type of philosophy I'm used to, so that was the challenge. I wanted to find something that was not necessarily that melodic all the time, or I just wanted to be right with the lyrics, and usually I don't write a melody without the lyric, and that's the difference with if you look at some of the artists of today, the modern bands in metal and rock, they usually write a melody and then they start working on the lyrics,
Sure.
which is more like a mathematical, theoretical way of doing it. I always wrote music in different ways. It was always spontaneous. I always had a certain melody together with the lyric instantly. So if I had an idea for a lyric, there would be a melody right away.
Sure.
And I would, maybe not the whole song, but there would be maybe like half a verse or a chorus or whatever, and the melody would be there right away. So
sure,
to construct or fabricate is not something I really like. I like it to be more spontaneous from within, and that's also why some of those rock records that we grew up with in the 70s, they're not always that melodic. They just it's just the expression it just fits so well with the lyrics, the melody.
Sure.
it's like it was never created in a way. It was just done.
Right. Definitely, man. Well, Jorn, I got to ask you, man, it's not, it's obviously 2017, and in this day and age, streaming audio has pretty much overtaken traditional purchasing of music, whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or whoever, Google Music, Google Play, yet you're still a guy that is putting out new full-length records all the time. I mean, really, about every year there's a Jorn release of some sort. What is it for you that keeps you not only writing new music, but releasing full-length records instead of putting out a song here or there to keep the name out there?
No, I don't know. I never thought about the name, or I was, to be honest, I was, I always wanted to build a brand, but I never really thought about it in that way. Everyone that's in this business would love to build a career, and you consider what's bad business, what's good business. But to me, it was all about being true to myself, in a way. And of course, I've compromised a bit here and there throughout the years, just because if you have the choice to get a day job or
right,
or make a living from music, the decision is easy. So if you're a musician, that's you just want to do what you love to do. So, but to me, that's basically it. I always hope that there would be some strong career for me, somewhere along the way. But as long as I can, have a decent life, I'm happy. As long as I get to pay my bills and my back tax once in a while, and at the same time I get to achieve some of my goals. Whether it's music or if I did well financially a couple of years, if I bought a property or if I had a new car or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I'm happy, and my goals are not necessarily that high, or big.
Sure.
It's just I just want to live and have a good balance, and I want to be proud of what I do and enjoy what I do, and it's hard not to compromise today, because these times it's a bit hectic, and you really have to compromise more than ever. I think not just in music, but in any line of work. So it's a balance. I'm just grateful for being in the business still and for making a decent living of something that most people would consider a hobby.
Right.
So I'm happy about that, and then also I think when you've been around for a long time, and if you experienced to buy and sell material things in life, and you achieved certain things like that, people say that material things, it's not good for you and all that, but there are actually some good things about it, because you actually get to the point where you've been there, done that,
mm-hmm.
and that makes you a better person as well.
Sure.
You get to realize that it's not really that important anymore. You experienced it. It's done.
Right.
You can focus on other essential, important things in life, and like friends, family, your craft. Do what you do well, and forget about the stress and the rush of the business all the time. Of course, business is always there, but if you're a guy like me, growing up in the countryside, you know, you have to work. You have to work hard. 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 You have you know, it's you just want to, you know, pull out, you know, frequently. Right. You want to tour or you want to work with music. You deal with the business, but you do it with the purpose of pulling out every now and then, to just step back and you know, and have a normal life, basically. And
right.
And that's also what inspires you to write new music and to reflect on things, you know, in general. Sure. So, yeah.
Very
yeah.
Cool. Yep.
That's, you know, I'm a simple man, you know. I'm a countryman.
Well, you may be a simple guy, Jorn, but you're certainly not putting out simple, boring music. This new new release, Life on Death Road, it is. I would dare to say it might be the best that you've done yet. Thanks, it really is solid. Where can people go to find out more about what you're doing and tour dates and all that other stuff?
Well, I guess, you know. I guess, you know, it's social medias are always good, you know. So I mean, I guess Facebook is the most safe bet, and you know, I don't know what about, you know, what websites anymore, but you know, you can always go to jornlande.com, or you can go to official Jorn Facebook page. You know, there are a few fan pages out there that you know, claim to be the official page, but they're not. But just look for that blue spot, and then which you know, shows that it's the official one. So
right.
Yeah, I guess that's what yeah.
All right.
What you have to do. Yeah. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, Jorn, as a tradition on the show, and you've done this before, we always ask the artist to pick a track from their new release to wrap up the interview with. So what should we wrap this up with? And maybe tell us a quick story about the song.
Well, maybe you should play Hammered to the Cross, The Business.
All right.
It's a great rock track. I think it addresses capitalism. It also addresses, you know, being true to what you love to do, and sacrificing a lot to keep things going. It's you know, if you run your own business and you get your, you know, have to pay your back tax, you know, you kind of hammered to the cross, you know. So.
Sure.
Yeah, and this, you know, so that song is a pretty, you know.
Well, let's check it out right now, Jorn.
Check it out, man.
This is brand new Jorn. It is Hammered to the Cross right here on your Classic Metal Show.
Cool, man.